Welcome back to the Cookie Edit. Today, we're taking all the cozy vibes of a cinnamon roll and turning them into a cookie. Let's get baking. For the first step of our cookie recipe, we're going to add both sugars and our butter to our stand mixer. For this step, I'm using a stand mixer, but if you don't have a stand mixer, you can also use a hand mixer. If you only have like a wooden spoon, that'll also work fine for combining ingredients. After the sugar and butter are fully incorporated, we can crack an egg into the same bowl. During this step, you can also scrape down the bowl as needed to make sure everything combines. For our next step, we're going to add our vanilla extract to this mixture. For next step, we're going to mix in all of our dry ingredients, so that includes like flour, baking soda, baking powder. You can also add salt in this step. For this time, I like to run my mixer on a lower speed so that flour doesn't go all over my kitchen, but it's up to you. Next, take a cutting board or like a floured countertop and roll out your dough. Make sure that you're rolling it out with a floured rolling pin or it's going to stick to your rolling pin. If your dough keeps breaking like mine, just push it back together. For this step, we need to cut the dough so that it is a rectangle. Unfortunately, we aren't going to be able to use the pieces that we take off the sides, but if you want to bake those separately and sprinkle some cinnamon sugar or add some chocolate chips to them and bake them into cookies, you can do that. You can use these just like normal cookie dough. If you take off any scraps, you can also use it to fix any tears that might have occurred. Next, sprinkle cinnamon and sugar onto your dough. We want to use a healthy amount here because we want them to taste like cinnamon rolls. So the next step can be complicated if you didn't put enough flour on your cutting board, but basically what we're going to try to do is roll up our dough as you would a cinnamon roll. I do struggle to get it started off and get it kind of peeled away from the cutting board, but after that it's pretty easy to roll up. We can pop this in the freezer for about 45 minutes to get it nice and hard. However, if you can't put it in the freezer, you can put it in the fridge for a couple hours, just until it gets firm. For step 10, we're going to want to cut cookies out. I marked every 1 centimeter on this one, but I found that it was best to cut every 2 centimeters. So make these 2 centimeters thick. there, and I cut this side so that the cookies are 2 centimeters thick. And then once you're done with this side, do it on the other side. We're going to put our cookies on the cookie sheet and bake them for about 350 degrees for 15 minutes. Next, we're going to make our glaze. I start by putting my powdered sugar in the bowl. Make sure you sift it because then it'll be clumpy and you'll be able to see the clumps. It will not be appetizing. So make sure to sift it. Next, I put in the milk. And I mix this up until all of the powdered sugar has dissolved. After it's dissolved, I add a little bit more milk and some vanilla extract. And for our final step, we can dip these amazing cinnamon roll cookies in the glaze we just made. These really make them look and taste like a real cinnamon roll. For this step, I find it helpful that you should use a cooling rack over a baking sheet so that all the excess glaze can drip down onto the baking sheet. Congratulations, you have finished these recipes, and this is so delicious. As always, thanks for watching, and if you need the recipe, it's in the description. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.